initiated.
Hey guys, Nick60 here, coming to you with a look at the Nightbridge Arms 9 Series Longsword. This is the dirt cheap variant of the different projectile weapons available. It rates alongside the M3A laser cannon. So I'm sure a lot of people think, oh, it's just the M3A in projectile cannon form. Yes and no. You see that I have it here stuck in the ball turret of the man, I'm having trouble already. Of the Dragon, the Mustang Omega variant, which is unpowered, and that's important. And I am using a set of Bulldogs as the wing guns. I stripped those out of the Delta as well. And you'll see for this first round I just sort of spam the longswords, and then after this I go back and forth with them a bit more like I normally would. And these are the first and second of my 3 purchases from the Voyager Direct store. And by far these have gotten the most use. And the reason why is they're not very good, you know, they're not just blasting their way through everything, but they are incredibly useful. More useful than the Bearing M3As, to be honest. They're marketed alongside them, the same cost. One of the 2 cheapest autocannons available. They have similar rate of fire, I think a little bit better range, but they also have a set ammunition capacity. And you sit there and wonder, okay, so what makes them superior? Well, they use the 25mm ammunition, which means you get 200 rounds per box, and each cannon can take 2 boxes. So that's 400 rounds of ammunition. That's a decent amount of firepower for the so-called dirt cheap variant. As stated, they have similar range. I think it's a little bit better, and similar rate of fire. But they're in the unpowered ball turret, and I got more than 4 or 5 shots out of them, which is the key reason why I have to recommend this. That you can stick them just about anywhere, and they won't really have issues. It did take me a little bit to realize, in fact, that they do not cool down like other autocannons stuck in unpowered components. However, that doesn't change the fact that they generate so little heat that you can actually, you will actually run out of ammunition before they overheat. And yeah, in wave-based combat, you get your ammunition back every 3rd round. So you do have the advantage of, you know, some more shots, but then in that 2nd round of ammunition, you will see the heating issues. But that gives you longer than their standard ammunition capacity. And you still get a decent chunk of your money's worth out of that 2nd reload of ammunition. So that means that the heating problems aren't really a heating problem until you get into later waves of the say, as I'm doing here, the drone wave attack. And let's be honest, you're probably not gonna have a long enough life, even if you're a great player, in the standard PvP Arena Commander. So yeah, I mean, they eliminate the key reason why I had problem with, say, the Sawbuck. They're size 1, so you can put them in just about any weapon slot and be fine with it. And they have another advantage that isn't immediately apparent. you may have noticed that a couple times when I was using them, I killed the guy really, really quickly. That's not necessarily because the ship was severely damaged from the start. I've noticed that projectile-based weaponry has a tendency to penetrate the cockpit and kill the pilot much more often than energy and laser weapons. So you can actually have the fight go very, very quickly if you get a lucky shot or two in, and they go through the shields, through the cockpit, kill the guy. You don't have to batter the enemy ship to pieces. You can just move on to the next target. And as the stock cheap starting variant weapon with these other advantages as I stated, hey, that's a pretty great chance to have. I mean, it's basically a one-hit kill crit with the cheapest weapon in the game. It doesn't get much better than that. Now, it does have a few drawbacks. Not enough to cause it problems. I mean, it fires a 25mm round, so it still takes a number of shots to batter a ship to pieces normally if you don't get that crit. It's still not the best rate of fire. I mean, like I said, it's the counterpart to the Bearing M3A laser cannon, so it's not going to be that great. It's not a sniper rifle. It's got better range than the Bulldogs that I have on here, which is useful, but doesn't mean you're going to just, oh, there he is, 100 kilometers away. Bump, 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 off the, oh, kill. So, yeah, it's not an absolutely incredibly awesome gun in any given field. But since you can mount it anywhere, its heating problems are so minimal compared to other weapons, and it does give you that chance of just knocking them out of the cockpit. Yeah, it's not a great weapon. It doesn't spew ammunition, it doesn't have absolutely insane range, it will eventually overheat, and it does have a set ammunition, but that makes it fairly balanced. And even if it is fairly balanced, it's still incredibly useful. I mean, I put far more use into this than I do the Sawbucks, which are size 2, have a better rate of fire, less ammunition, and generate heat like you wouldn't believe in unpowered slots. So I've just found them to be an incredibly useful advantage compared to any of the other weapons. The Sawbuck that I bought, or the other weapons available just because they're available. Yeah, there are better choices out there, but if I have an extra weapon slot that I need filled, I always know that as a worst case scenario, I can stick these in and they will work. And I'll be honest, back when they still had the military grade Hornet available, which is when I first got these, it made a very noticeable difference first game, which is saying something considering the fact that the Hornet was also equipped with the Mantis Gatling cannons and the Bulldog repeaters, and I could see an instant difference in performance when I stuck these two longswords in the nose. The nose was also an unpowered slot. I assume it probably still is, but I had a pair of autocannons stuffed in the nose, and that extra 2 guns, yeah, they couldn't match either weapon for rate of fire. The Mantis rate of fire made up for the then inferior quality of ammunition. Yeah, they couldn't match the fact that the Bulldogs would always fire so long as they had energy and didn't overheat. But just having that extra set of guns made an incredible difference. And that's exactly what the Longsword is there for. They're there to be the extra set of guns that fill the role of more bullets flying downrange. And this is a dogfighting module. I know a lot of people make arguments for high alpha ammunition and weapons, but sometimes you just need that extra couple bullets downrange. And that's exactly what these do. So, while I'm not impressed with them, I'm not absolutely thrilled with the level of performance that they provide. I am, however, going to continue to use them for the simple fact that they're useful. And let's be honest, that's, I think, makes more difference than anything else, is just being able to say that the weapons are useful. So, I think I've gone on enough about that. I'd hope you get the idea by now. Probably gotten annoying. So, yeah. This has been the Knightbridge Arms 9 Series Longsword from the Voyager Direct store at the Robert Space Industries website for Star Citizen. If you want to see more, I've already done a Sawbuck video. I have some old videos from the old version of Arena Commander. I will probably relook at some of that. I hope that I've been useful in some way. Please check out my Chain 1 other videos. If you want to keep getting alerts as more stuff becomes available, please subscribe. Check out my Twitter, Nick60vids. If you really like this and wanna help out, please check out my Patreon, Nikolai60. I am starting to stream on Twitch, Nikolai60_Silas. And there will be links to everything in the description. And thank you again for watching. I hope this has been useful. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I will see you next time. This has been Nikolai60, an Arena Commander. I'll see you guys later. Fly safe.